Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. So, this is what I was just speaking about. The Lord has been visiting and judging Springfield, Illinois, and it speaks about it that the Lord will start judgment with his people. You know, the Bible speaks about that. So here it is, a new announcement, and there's even a video to it. I just didn't upload the video because of YouTube. It says, officer involved shooting. On September 4th, 2024, Springfield police officers responded to a shot fire incident in the 1600 block, 16th Street. This is where you would call the hood. In the 18th Street, a suspect resisted the officer attempt to place him under arrest and fired one round from a handgun in immediate proximity of officers. One Springfield police officer quickly returned fire, striking the suspect. Right? So it was pretty much another black man in the hood shot down by the police. And on the video, you could see him running towards him, shooting and walking him down pretty much and shooting him. You know, but I was just speaking about this. You know, you have men being raised by single emotional mothers. And this is what I was just speaking about. What happens when they get grown and they get out there in the real world on the streets and they have a problem with authority? The Bible says agree with your enemy, your immediately, roughly paraphrasing, but between what depending on what translation you're reading, but it just speaks about agreeing with your adversary immediately so you could spare your life, because that's the point where it talks about in Matthew 24, those that endure to the end, the same should be saved. You see? So there's a way to do things, right? But when you're raised with a single mother and she's all emotional, the Bible also speaks about those that spare the rod hate their children, because you're supposed to chastise your children. You're supposed to whoop their ass. Because I'd much rather, like this what I was saying. If you see my sons out there and they drive around in a car with dope and guns, illegal guns, and committing crimes in a car, pull them out the car and beat their ass. And sit them right there so I could pull up and beat their ass. Because I'd much rather for them to get an ass whooping and correction than they run into law enforcement, like this example, and they have a problem with authority and the officer tell them, get down on the ground. And they got a problem with authority and they do the wrong thing and get killed and get their shit blown. I'd much rather for them to get an ass whooping than to die. And that's the point. Because in reality, you have where you grow up at, right? These mothers are getting soft. They won't hit their kids. They won't spank their kids. They won't allow the fathers to be in the lives of the kids, to exert authority and an example of what a real man's supposed to be. You know, they raising these boys to be emotional and effeminate. And it's all about entertainment and social media. But social media is not reality. See, the things that you see on social media, how dudes act, how people be talking on social media, that's not who they really is in the real world and reality. And then when you get on the streets, you know, in reality, you know, life is not Grand Theft Auto. You can't just run around like these fucking clown ass young dudes running around stealing people's cars and driving around. You steal a car and you're driving around the same city in the same hood with the car that you just stole from somebody. What do you think is going to happen when they catch you? A couple things going to happen. They going to catch you, whoever person you stole the car from, and they going to shoot you. Or law enforcement going to catch you and they going to shoot you, or they going to take you to jail. What do you think is going to happen, stupid? You're not getting away. It's 2024. They have cameras on every corner, every stoplight, and they could track the cars through the city. They could pull up on a laptop. They could put the make and model of the car that they're looking for, and then they could track it all through the city of that make and model of that car that's been seen by every camera in the city. Every officer could do that with their computer now. They have AI technology, man. They can match voices to people. They can match faces to people. AI technology can figure out things that they would have never been able to figure out during the 80s. And then social media, all they got to do is stalk your social media and stalk everybody else's social media around you, and they can figure out who, where, when, and why. Crime in 2024 is over with, and it's only going to get worse and more oppressive. This is what makes you a prophet. I prophesied this. And boom, a couple days later, look what happens. A perfect example of what I was saying. This is why we follow the Bible. This is why we are in what we call the truth. So we can get that guidance from the Lord, man. So we can have our spirit right. So we can have our head right. So we can have the answers of what to do and what not to do. Which goes back to the law. And goes back, the law is just the ways of the Lord, man. You guys got a problem with the law. That's the same thing as saying you got a problem with the ways of the Lord. This is why they attempt to say the God in the Old Testament is a different God than the God in the New Testament. The God in the Old Testament was actually the devil and he was wicked. And then Jesus came. That's you making up a new God, man. A new God. You're not following the true Lord of the Bible for what it is. And this is what we see happening. So now we got camps and stuff that are run to Springfield. They'll march around because it's an opportunity for them to get known off an incident that happened. Now let's see if they're going to come back again now that, you know, this man was shot. Now let's see if they're going to come back again and get some more fame and some more followers and some more money off an incident that happened in Springfield. But guess who's the real prophets when it comes down to Springfield, Illinois? Guess who's out there on the highways and byways for years? Go to my channel. You see all the camp videos, hundreds, maybe thousands of them in Springfield, Illinois. Israelite Covenant Oil. Kadash, Quanah. That's who been out there holding it down, been prophesying. That's why the Lord has a judgment. That's what we believe. We believe the Lord is visiting Springfield and all this stuff and it's happening in Springfield right now because the Lord is judging that place, right? But the Lord sent his prophets out there. He sent two of them, me and Quanah, to warn the people. Now it seems like the time is up and judgment is coming down on Springfield, Illinois, and that judgment is going to start with his people first, Israel. Then the other nations that's in Springfield, they're going to get it too. It's going to come down on them too. But we try to warn y'all, man, and still been trying to warn y'all. But this is what happens, man. So with that, I want to say salvation to the elect.